Guess who just got out on parole, robo-fag? Sup, Dick Bag? Long time no see. Oh, you have no idea how long I've waited for this. Actually, neither do I. That's beside the point. Yeah, I'm here to torture and kill you. First, I'll cut off your toes one by one, and then I'll make small incisions to every part of your body, making it nigh impossible for you to move. And then I'll do something with your tongue. I'm not even sure what I'm doing with that yet. Prepare to meet eternity!
I think I'm gonna get takeout tonight. I feel like people fall into this trap really easily, where they're not content with their lives, they're not happy, so they sort of become emotionally, overtly nostalgic for something from their past, even if that thing wasn't necessarily that great to begin with. It's in this aspect that people seem to create an unrealistic view of their lives, where self-awareness and a will to develop just aren't real things at all. If you constantly look at yesterday as the greatest day of your life, you're never going to be able to realize that you were doing anything wrong in the first place. Case in point, Power Rangers. Here is a show that has had ample chance to grow and evolve over time, but in convincing themselves that how they were doing it from the beginning was the best way that they've ever done it, they've refused themselves the right to enter the new millennium. Power Rangers basically decided slowly, over the years, likely by accident, to remove each and everything that was good about the original while keeping and embracing all the things that were pretty bad. So today we're going to be looking at Power Rangers, The Legendary Battle, because a year ago I wrote on a piece of paper, review this March 2017, and a year ago I made great videos with no particular flaws at all, and I'm constantly trying to live up to my old legacy. Power Rangers Super Mega Force, more like Power Rangers Super Mega Dorks. Alright, so there's a Silver Ranger, he's from another planet, and they think they've defeated the big alien. There's like an armada of aliens trying to kill them. They think they've defeated them, so the Silver Ranger is leaving, and they're all saying goodbyes and thinking about how... Basically, it's Power Rangers in space, but it sucks.
Now that the armada's decimated, it's time for me to head back home and start rebuilding my world.
Movie intro scenes seem to be the ones that on this channel make me the most mad, and I've gone through many different movie intro scenes that have really ticked me off and just ruined the movie right off the bat for me. But I've never been able to honestly say that the movie is trying to lie to me.
Noah, you showed me the importance of fighting with your head as well as with your hands.
Like they're setting up this huge thing where the Silver Ranger in this scene is going down a line. He's going down a line, and he's describing how each person has helped him develop as a person, and they're describing some sort of story arc you presume he went through in the show. But no, they're making it all up.
You showed me that you can be tough and caring at the same time.
You see, they realize that most of the people watching this haven't watched this season at all, so they're trying to trick you into believing that it was a good season.
You made me see that even in the most difficult times, you can find some humor to see it through.
That's why everyone loves me.
They're lying to you, basically.
Your empathy helped heal the scars of losing my home. Thank you.
So, like I said, I think in the last episode they destroyed a chunk of the armada, the alien armada, and now they think the armada's done for good. But what they don't realize is that that was only a small chunk of the armada, and now the entire armada is coming to destroy them. It's actually called the Armada. They're actually called the Armada. That's the name of the aliens. Probably the Armada Federation. So the Armada Federation's armada is coming to destroy Earth.
Go say, what's the situation?
My parents went away for a week's vacation. The remaining reindeers get together in their headquarters, which is clearly an attempt to duplicate the original command center from Power Rangers. Now the original command center is really dated and goofy and like oddly bright, but I prefer it a lot more to this, which looks like a damp shed that someone hanged a bunch of action figures up in.
Tensu, wait! Tune in that frequency.
This is Toy Head Man. He is a giant version of one of the toys that they sell for this show. This is Sidekick Joke Robot. I wonder who these characters are supposed to remind me of. I can't tell.
Tensu, the Armada is on the move. We need to warn the Rangers.
For the rest of the review, I will be calling these two stupid nicknames to substitute for the fact that I have not thought of any real jokes. This one is he's Zardo. Get it? It's Zordon, but I changed some of the letters around, and that's Alfonso. Get it? Because it sounds like Alpha. Are you bored yet? Because I tell you what, I am. You know those movies where some of the characters, perhaps like the entire background, are based on things that weren't really there whenever the actors were filming the scenes? You know, things like green screen, or maybe just one character is CGI, so they're just acting with empty air. And you can tell if you look into their eyes, the empty soullessness, that they aren't acting with anything real. That's the impression I get watching the people in this movie act.
Look around you. All the Rangers who came before us are here too.
And the only reason I can think that this is that to the people shooting this movie, none of this actually matters to them. Like, this is supposed to be a huge scene where he's analyzing that, like, there's so much power behind the Power Ranger force. But to this actor, he's just staring at a shelf of toys. You know, and there's nothing entertaining about a guy in front of a shelf of toys just ranting about something about the history of Power Rangers.
Look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now.
Yeah!
Oh look, it's the bad guys for this episode. Oh, that's exciting. I'm glad they didn't build them up or have some sort of exciting reveal. The bad guys in newer seasons of Power Rangers are certainly the biggest reason that no one cares about the show anymore. It's absolutely the part they haven't changed it. Oh wow, everything in this scene looks like shit. Oh my god, that's surprising. You wouldn't expect that from Power Rangers. All Power Ranger villains have started to kind of look the same to me. They've all got that weird rubbery latex look. You can't really see any of their faces. Their costumes seem to be built entirely around them just standing really stiff and eating the scenery as much as possible. Can someone explain to me, in the Power Rangers community, how the villains of each of the recent seasons have been different at all? Other than the fact that some of them are based on fucking wrenches and some of them are based on fucking pixie dust. How are they different? How are they written different? How do you tell them apart? This is the part of the video where I linger on the same point for 5 paragraphs, going through several metaphors to explain the point of view that was pretty clear in 2 sentences. So what comparison can I make that doesn't make any sense about the bad guys? Well, you bad guys, you look like someone melted a Barbie doll and then spray painted it black. You bad guys, you look like someone went into my shed and just took a bunch of stuff and just stuck it on some dude. That's what you guys look like. Do you get the point yet? Then the Power Rangers get in their Megazords and go looking for the Armada. I think you'll notice when it shows up. I think it'll be pretty obvious. I'm thinking, just maybe, when the giant armada of the biggest fleet known to the galaxy shows up at Earth, you're not gonna have to look for it. I'm thinking the ocean is not the place where you need to start looking, because they're probably gonna show up from space. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what all this stuff is. Power Rangers is based mostly on footage from the Japanese program and series Super Sentai. So, a lot of scenes in this episode are pretty clearly done entirely because they had footage from Super Sentai that they wanted to use, because they figured out how to use it, but they didn't have a spot for it. So this entire movie is just them shoving as much of that into one limited space as they can, even when it doesn't make any sense, and just mindlessly reusing stock footage when you should just abandon it because it doesn't work. That's just something I simply can't get behind.
Ahem.
No!
Yes, I have returned.
That's not true. That's impossible!
Tremble in fear, mortal, for I have scoured the earth for the legendary blood rubies. With these rubies gathered, I summoned the mighty serpent Shinrong the Right and wished for immortality. Then I sacrificed my life and went to hell and trained under the tutelage of a mighty cedar tree. I then gained access to the dread zone. Yes, fear, the concept of fear itself, as I cause a shitty after effect to be superimposed upon the screen. I will end your life here.
So apparently the bad guy from earlier in the episode, who has like the weird visor things on, well apparently she made her own Megazord, which looks like her face, but the face is the chest, so the visors are the tits. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I remember now. I was talking about the fact that everything in this show looks like it was designed and implemented in 1987. So Visor Tit Lady, she starts attacking their Megazord with her Megazord, and surprisingly, she actually gets a lot of hits in. In fact, you could say that she was pretty clearly winning the battle. That is, until the Power Rangers implemented Operation Throw Everything at Once. I swear to God, they whip out like 700 different Megazords in like 2 minutes, and with each Megazord they keep losing, and yet somehow they start winning because of this. And then the bad guy woman, she keeps saying like weird phrases that don't belong in the scenes, like shit like,
I won't lose! I'm not done yet!
And then almost immediately, she'll keep getting her ass kicked. I mean, is this a joke, bad guy? Are we supposed to think that she's terrible at everything? Are we supposed to laugh at her exploits? If so, why did you make her the first main boss of an anniversary special? Oh boy, we finally got to the first morphed battle of the anniversary season, where we get to see their extremely, extremely weird gimmick. Super Megaforce's Ranger team is based around the idea that they can unlock previous teams' powers, abilities, and costumes through specific Ranger keys. Now, this is a very interesting tactic that really changes how they construct battle scenes in this season, allowing for them to really switch up what they can use. I'm joking. It's pandering. They're pandering to fans. The only thing is, it doesn't work because a lot of these scenes are from Gokaiger, which was the Japanese Sentai, so they were constructed for a fan base that aren't watching this Power Rangers episode. They were meant to make Sentai fans happy, and not Power Rangers fans. So when all these different teams show up, some of which were not in Power Rangers ever before this, I'm not excited or intrigued because they're teams that I don't care about. But then they finally get around to having the characters morph into Ranger teams that I recognize, and oh no, this is wrong. Please don't do this. I guess it's that when I see a Power Rangers suit, I connect it with the person and personality that was inside of it, rather than any of the powers or abilities that came with the suit. So when I see people morphed into previous characters that I used to know and love, it'd be like if your cousin dressed up as your dead fiance for your birthday. Also, I suppose it's kinda cool to see these suits in HD, except for the fact that they look terrible because they were not built to be shown in HD. You can see every zipper, every belt buckle, every wrinkle just amplified to 127%. Also, as a quick note, these Sentai-only morphs, they look like terrible, stupid shows, and I'm glad they never became Power Rangers. So then the villain announces that she has one final trick up her sleeve. She dies almost immediately.
And you could have it all. My empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
Go Power Rangers! Murdering people. This is the part of the video where I've run out of jokes to make and I've run out of commentary to make, so I'm just gonna find a character to call Trump and I'm gonna make a bunch of Trump jokes. Alright, this Emperor dude, he's kinda like Trump. Alright, Trump jokes, let's go. Trump looks like a green bell pepper you left out on the counter and then you spray painted it orange. Alright, great. Trump looks like a withered old man that became president because the other person wasn't a very good candidate at all. Great. Trump looks like an old Cheeto that you dropped in dog hair and then you picked it up and you made it president of the United States. It's starting to occur to me that Spring 2016 Quinton Reviews wasn't as good as I'm telling myself that it was in my head. In fact, I would say that it was pretty terrible, and I regret a lot of it. So I think it's time that we allowed ourselves to move on and to evolve a tiny bit to become more fresh and more new. Hi, I'm Autumn 2016 Quinton Reviews, and I like to review the same basic movie over and over again, to think of one or two fresh jokes while keeping in the exact same structure, and usually having the same basic thesis, although occasionally I'll do it as a rap, just to mix up the different kinds of cringe that I can export. Most importantly though, I like to say, fuck! As sort of my I can't think of a word phrase. I say fuck nearly as often as 2017 Quinton says, Just when the Rangers think that they've won, the Armada's Armada arrives and attacks the Earth. I'm gonna go ahead and dub this next scene for you. This threat is so much larger / different from the last one. It looks like we might actually lose because we are simply not powerful enough. But we are powerful enough. We have friendship, love, and overall youthful exuberance. I am now inspired, and I believe that we can defeat this threat. The Rangers in the end refuse to give up and surrender, and so the aliens begin attacking the planet, doing such dastardly things as interrupting poorly executed picnics and lightly grazing the lawns of local parks. In the past year, I've said the word pacing a little too often. That's because it's an easy out for commentary. It's always easy to talk about how something's pacing is a little off. This movie doesn't have very good pacing, though. About 10 seconds after the Armada begins their attack, the Rangers are already in their Megazords, and the Megazords are already fully transformed. These are moments that are so rushed and incoherent. These are moments that go by so quickly that I almost suspect that I'm going to have to slow down the footage just to match it up to me talking. The Rangers blow up a bunch of ships, and the people of Earth celebrate. Celebrate the fact that the Rangers just murdered a bunch of people. Thousands are dead already. The Rangers have already killed thousands.
Yes! A few thousand down! Nice!
Yeah, but then the episode gets super bipolar and becomes Countdown to Destruction in like 60 seconds. All the Rangers get blown up and separated. Earth suddenly is post-apocalyptic looking. The Rangers lose their will to fight entirely again. Now, there's several reasons why Countdown to Destruction worked, and this one didn't. Whether it comes down to the fact that Countdown to Destruction has one story that it's trying to tell. Countdown to Destruction has characters that you actually care about. Countdown to Destruction had been built up throughout an entire season, and they didn't decide to do it 2 minutes before they did it. Most importantly, though, Countdown to Destruction wasn't trying really, really hard to be Countdown to Destruction. The next scene is the one that's the hardest to make fun of because it's the best one in the entire episode. And that's this sequence where we see a bunch of people in peril and they're rescued by Rangers. Not the current Rangers, ex-Rangers who no longer have their powers but are still trying to help out because they're good people. I actually really like this sequence. It's probably something any healthy anniversary special could need a bit of. To someone who's not a fan of Power Rangers, it's basically just a bunch of scene of people being nice, and it doesn't really hurt their experience. But to people who do like Power Rangers, it's a really nice, healthy balance of a throwback. It's good to see these characters again. The fact that none of the people in these scenes are in actual peril, that's besides the point.
Got this.
Everything seems fine. You're gonna be okay.
My leg was trapped under a pillar. Why did you check my heartbeat? Oh, good. You photoshopped their helmet over their face. Good. Now I know who they are. That's not obnoxious. Where are they? Where the hell are they? The final scene features a child dangling off of a cliff.
Help! Somebody please help me!
Where the hell are this kid's parents? For one, I know the window is smashed. It might seem like the parents smashed through the window because they weren't wearing seatbelts or something. That's impossible for several reasons. First of all, okay? A little known fact, the parents' bodies would be in front of the car if they'd smashed through the window. Second of all, in order to smash through a window, the car needs to be going forwards. And then you stop suddenly, and because if you don't have your seatbelt on, the car's momentum, you keep going, because even if the car is stopped, you have no reason to stop, so you fly through the window. Now, if the car is dangling off of a cliff, okay, it's dangling off of a cliff. The only way it could have gotten like that is by backing up. Now, you can't... Now, if you're going backwards, I'm just making sure this makes sense. If you're going backwards and the car stops, you're going to be sent backwards. You're not going to smash through a window. The only way this could have happened if they had this accident and the parents just bailed. And of course, the person who saves the kid is the famous Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, and a couple other Rangers that no one cares about. So to get the kid out of the car, he pulls out that weird, sometimes talking toy sword thing from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because why be subtle about your callbacks when you can just be really obvious and pull out plastic toys? Where are they? I'm gonna find them. The Rangers wake up and they realize that they might have met their match and they might have to surrender. The Earth, stop protecting the Earth just because the bad guys have really caught. Let me dub this scene for you. This threat is so much larger / different from the last one. It looks like we might actually lose because we are simply not powerful enough. But we are powerful enough. We have friendship, love, and overall youthful exuberance. I am now inspired, and I believe that we can defeat this threat. And then the silver one shows up again. I don't feel like this matters as much as they act like it does in the episode. The difference between 5 and 6, not that big.
Check them out, guys!
Yeah, let's mix it up with pleasure!
These fight scenes remind me of the most terribly dubbed episodes of Voltron. In other words, these fight scenes remind me of any episode of Voltron.
Final strike! Super Mega Final Blast! Right!
This is magical. I really have started to admire what I'm experiencing here. This is a fight scene that is paced way too quickly, but still goes on for way too long. It feels too quick, but I feel like I get too much of it. I don't really know how that's possible.
Where did you get this new strength?
It's been with us all along! You just gave us a reason to find it!
The big bad guy in the sky decides that he's going to start shooting at them from the sky. Do you want me to dub this scene for you? This threat is so much larger / different from the last one. It looks like we might actually lose because we are simply not powerful enough. But we are powerful enough. We have friendship, love, and overall youthful exuberance. I am now inspired, and I believe that we can defeat this threat. So Red and Silver decide to break away from the rest of the team, and they break into the main ship to take down the Emperor on foot. They make it all the way into his control room through a crowd of putties. Partially because putties are terrible, and partially because at this point the Power Rangers are actual gods. This results in an honestly, strangely badass moment, where the Emperor basically fends off their attacks without even standing up. Somewhere in here, the Silver Ranger morphs into one of his legendary modes, which is just a regular morph, but he's wearing like a vest that has all the faces of the most notable 6th Ranger combinations from the past 20 years. And my god, just everything looks stupid in Sentai and Power Rangers permanently. Everything looks so dumb. And they're basically losing this fight until one of the Rangers basically cheats and uses the computer to fire shots at every other Armada ship within the giant Armada, destroying everything in the Armada in one Armada-packed punch. Armada. The Rangers on the ground managed to defeat their very last boss battle, while meanwhile the 2 Rangers in the sky are still having trouble defeating the Emperor. They use their very final last attack, Armada, and manage to not only destroy the controls, but also blow up the Emperorada. The ship explodes, and it looks like our old friends may not have made it, but then they hover down in their American-only in-space gliders as the Red and Silver Ranger, in a scene which, if the first 43 minutes of this special hadn't been terrible, I would be applauding right now. But it's been pretty bad, so Addison. Whoopsie daisies, crazy kooky. The Emperor survived. The Emperor is alive. And they have to stop the Emperor because he's not dead. I need to go to a doctor. So after that, basically, they murder the shit out of the Emperor. They kill the fuck out of that guy. He is dead. He is in the ground. He dies a horrible death. This entire sequence is only justified in the fact that you can see like two cool Rangers that you don't see in the rest of the episode for just a few frames, and it's not long enough that your mind justifies to yourself that it's weird. So it's just like, oh, those guys, the classic characters, and not a person in my dead friend's suit. Classic characters on my screen. Hooray! And after that, the episode's over, except it's not, because there's an entire army of putties just walking towards them very slowly, and they don't know what to do. I don't think this is working. I feel like I was pulling it off. I was having fun. But I feel like August 2016, it's been like fun so far. I've been having a good time, but I feel like I've been doing so much work in this period of time that I've really burnt myself out, and it's really hard to push myself over the final edge there. I don't know. And now I'm just out of arrows to go through. I've already gone through spring 2016 and autumn 2016. I mean, after that there's only... I'll just take back that realization I had earlier, and I'll just go back to the spring set and...
John Miss. I'm not John Miss. John Miss is no more. I've become far more powerful than any regular John Miss ever could become, for I am Mega John Miss.
That's not true. That's impossible!
You thought I would go down that easily? No. I've become more powerful than you could possibly perceive. With my combined skills in alchemy and computer sciences, I've created these nanoblocks which will take your faggy-ass robo-fag down. No. Now tremble in fear as my nanoboxes rip apart every atom in your body.
There's no way I can make it out of this one. Unless...
No! You can't! Go, my nanocubes! Destroy him! No! No!
Hey, remember the time that I nearly bled to death, like right here, a couple years ago? Oh man. References sure make up for a substantial drop in quality, right?
Slow down, foolish fool, for you have underestimated my final form. No. I have returned, foolish human, revived by the Tang, and have been augmented with nanomachines, which are totally different from nanoboxes, and have become Super John Miss. As we speak, thousands of alien Zen Tribe ships have broken through hyperspace and are arriving just above this house. I've also gained the help of the Psycho Rangers. Is that it? Flee in the arrival of Gauntlet, the Lord of the Fifth Dimension. And as his dimensional counterpart Love arrives, he summons an army of orangutans who will crush this house in one simple attack. With the combined force of all these warriors, plus my newly upgraded super nanoboxes, which are totally stronger than the old ones, I'll take you out. Let's go, Ribofag.
There's no way I can get out of this one. I'm really finished this time. Unless...
What are you doing? No! No! Stop!
People always ask me, Quinton, how do you open up a can of whoop ass? Well, the secret is always to use your left hand.
Surprised to see me?
No.
Oh. Well. Well, it's not over yet, mortal. For I have the orb of Orbulon's palace. Yes, with this orb that I found in the toy aisle at a Walmart.
Do you know what the honest problem with this little mini-movie is? And I'm being totally real here. It's that they keep building up these supposed huge threats for the Power Rangers to deal with. Threats that they're bigger than anything they've ever seen before, that they can't possibly defeat. And then they manage to do that in like 2 minutes. There is a huge difference between being good at what you're supposed to do and being overpowered because your writers are untalented. So this, of course, is the part of the episode where they got every single Power Ranger from every single team ever to show up. And when I say that, I mean they got like 6 people that they shipped in, and the rest of them are extras that keep their helmets on.
Over there!
Mighty Morphin!
Lost Galaxy!
Wild Force? Dino Thunder?
Ugh, that's so cringy to me. I know it's been standard for a long time to call the Power Rangers in-universe the names of their shows for some reason. But I don't know, it's just always seemed pretty tacky and like weird. Also, I want to file an official complaint. These anniversary seasons, they seem to always leave out the Mighty Morphin Western Rangers. They have different costumes, they're a different team. You should include them because they count. So I should be able to sit here and say, well, even if this episode is crap, the final sequence is pretty cool because they got some people back and it's just a fun little nod. But it's pretty terrible. I mean, it's cool to see some of these characters again, but at the same time, we see them for like 10 seconds, so there's no real impact. It doesn't feel like a really good payoff. And at the same time, if I wanted to know what these actors look like today, I would just Google a shitty clickbait article that made me flip through 70 slides. So the legendary battle takes place, and it's a barely battle bottom bowling bowl out. Also, I know that, like I said, they only got like 10 extras in, but you can really tell that no one but the main cast members are dubbing it, because they're the only people in the scene who are saying anything or making any noises. I don't remember hearing any yes or that kind of shit, you know what I mean? So it just feels like a really empty battle in terms of audio production. So they kill all the putties, and then they congratulate the Ranger team, and then they shoot off into space and turn into pixie dust. What? So the reason that this battle is so underwhelming is that it wasn't meant to be the end of the story, it was meant to be the beginning? You see, the original Sentai show, it started off on this sequence. This is how the show started, not how the show ended. And you can kind of feel that it shouldn't be the end of the show. In fact, that whole sequence where they shoot off into space and become pixie dust, that's why the Ranger powers are scattered in the first place in Sentai, and why they have to go looking for them. All I'm saying is, you shouldn't have used a pre-title sequence as the end to your epic television program. A lot of this episode is just jam-packed with footage because the American creators were just obsessed with using each and every little clip that they could piece together, and thus the episode feels like totally incoherent and rushed. But at the same time, I do want to just step aside and clarify, this can't entirely be the American people's fault. There were elements of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that weren't good, but you could defend them because it was a show made in the past, and that they had later tried to just even out the production values and stuff like that to just make a more enjoyable show. But you can't use those same defenses on a show that was made like 3 years ago. The first 10 years of Power Rangers, those are sort of like artificial sweeteners, you know what I mean? Like, they're just a guilty pleasure that you know it's not good for you, and you know that it's not for everybody, but you like it, and you're gonna have it on your own. And, well, this movie, it's like the shitty aftertaste you get from using, like, a guilty pleasure. Like, it still tastes like the guilty pleasure, and it still feels like it reminds you of the guilty pleasure, but it's really gross and annoying, and you want it out of your mouth. Which is why, in some sixth sense, I'm honestly looking a little forwards to the Power Rangers movie. Because let's be real, it's gonna be bad. But at the same time, it's gonna be a new kind of bad. And I am tired of the same kind of bad. I want a new bad to make things exciting in like a bad way. And I think the Power Rangers movie is gonna at least give me that. And with that, I've been running all over my house, talking super loudly, talking to everybody. My throat's a little dry. I'm gonna go out into the hallway there outside this room, and I'm gonna get a little water. Let's hope no one attacks me, right? Yeah. I actually think this needs a little ice. I forgot the ice.
Aha! I have returned once again after spending the last century in the Heaven Splituary concocting one plan that you could not possibly escape.
Yeah, right, bud. What plan could you possibly have that would finally defeat me?
Please?
Jesus Christ.
You are under arrest for the murder of Tom Jonas. Do you understand?
You know one of these isn't alright.
No, well, your hands are too damn big. Get in the vehicle. Are you resisting arrest right now? Are you resisting arrest right now? Get in the vehicle. Get in the vehicle now. That's what you get for killing me. Oh, that's what you get, buddy. Actually, sir, are you Mr. Tom Jonas? It says here you've been skipping parole. You're under arrest.
Wait, no, I died.
Like
3
Tell
times.
it to the judge.
This
guys.
isn't fair.
Are you resisting arrest
He killed
right
me
now?
like 3 times.
It's okay.
My
Any
record's
more-
clean.
Come with me.
This isn't fair.
Ah, God damn it.
Wait a minute. Didn't we agree that this wasn't a real cop?
Who's ready for some takeout?
This really is the whatever. Fuck it.